There we go. In-game sounds are greeting us in our game number 2 between MarineLorD and LucifroN, seed number 1 versus seed number 3. We're gonna be here now on Mountain Clearing, and we're seeing MarineLorD with the English in the color red, going for the typical English opening here, looking for that early boar kill, sending a lot of villagers in there. LucifroN scout set out with his own scout right now, but can't really do too much about that. Boar is gonna get taken by MarineLorD. Now, talked about LucifroN before. He's gonna be in the yellow in this game, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. And as the Holy Roman Empire, what you want to do is you want to be luring your deer really close under your TC, but it looks like MarineLorD, he's going to be at the right time, at the right place in order to deny a lot of these deer from being... actually, has to be careful. That's always what you have to be keep in mind. When you tank the boar with your scout, you're going to be losing out on a lot of HP, and that scout from MarineLorD almost went down there.
It's interesting as well, right? Because like there is an alternative opportunity. If you know an English player's going to do this, instead of trying to like mess with the boar, maybe sometimes it's more worthwhile to get more sheep, right? But maybe for LucifroN, it's like the plan here just involves deer. Deer alone will either get me to win condition or out of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Deer are just so important for the HRE here in their transition, because getting deer while being inspired by the prelate, it's just such an insane gathering speed for your villagers. You're going to be having a lot of food access. And if you want to go for a potential Burgrave Palace, that is exactly what you're going to be needing. You're going to be needing a lot of food in order to be able to pump out all of these men-at-arms.
And what was it in the stack? So it's 350 times 7, so you end up with 2450.
Where's that deer going home?
No. I've seen what you've done to my siblings. I'm not falling for this. I'm getting out of here.
Bambi wants to live in this one, but actually, it looks like LucifroN is gonna spare the deer here for now, as he's just gonna walk towards the boar villagers right now from MarineLorD. Just gonna be looking over, see what he's got, but villagers just gonna be pulling up the short bows, but doesn't do too much damage here. MarineLorD doing the same thing that LucifroN just did, luring in his deer. And Archon Chapel is going to be going up on the side of LucifroN. Right next to TC is going to be buffing up both the food, even the deer that are on the opposite side of the TC, as well as the gold. This could be a really spot now for a for fast Castle Age kind of play. The thing that he needs to do, though, is he's going to have to wall in towards his town center.
I almost feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but looking back at that, I'm not sure he has enough food for a fully flourished Burgrave play.
I mean, the thing is, if he gets the Burgrave out, potentially at a really good timing, if there's still something from the boar left, maybe like 800 food remaining on the boar, he could be taking that. Other than that, with the map control that he's gaining, there are still deer at the top side, deer at the bottom side of the map that he can then have access to. Question is always going to be, when are you going to that? Because you never want to make like a hard transition onto these outward resources.
Well, and as the HRE, don't want to move out your base often anyway, because like the thing that I'm comparing is like the deer. That's a great element, but you need enough sheep. And what was that? 4, 5 sheep total? Go check MarineLorD's base again. I'm pretty sure that was 10+ sheep alive still.
Yeah, sheep are looking good. And speaking of sheep, there's still some around LucifroN's base, which he's getting. But yeah, the thing with the sheep is, because MarineLorD went out to the boar so early, he's going to have an excess amount of food from that. So he doesn't need to touch the sheep too early on.
Yeah, and then he also has already pushed all the deer in, right? So my thought process here is like, does MarineLorD play all in feudal? Or how would you feel about the idea of like a fast castle build and you drop the white tower to block?
That is an option. What I'm concerned though right now, I mean, for MarineLorD, he's still in the middle, and LucifroN, he's made a really fast stable here now. And the horsemen are going to be coming out, so he's going to be pushing MarineLorD off of that boar, which means that 6 villagers are going to have a little bit of idle time, and potentially even gets a kill there if one of the villagers isn't fast enough.
It'll be a lot of idle time. He hasn't got wheelbarrow yet. He does immediately react. What? Okay, that was magic fingers. Instantly moves away.
Yeah, pre-pulls the villagers.
I'm not even sure he was immediately looking. I think he's looking elsewhere. If I'm not mistaken, he saw the timing when the stable's completed, and he's like instantly thinking, yeah, 22 seconds.
He had a scout there, and as soon as he saw the horsemen come out, he immediately ran off. And now it looks like behind this, LucifroN is going to be going for some villagers on stone. Could be looking for an outpost with an emplacement there. Potentially even in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that, as MarineLorD hasn't produced a single longbowman yet. Doesn't have the wood for it quite yet. If LucifroN rushes out an outpost in the middle with an emplacement, that could give him like an opportunity to then go fast castle behind that potentially, and then put the relic inside of that outpost, securing him not just an additional relic but also a sacred site potentially.
It feels incredibly important here because of what we highlighted, right? The lack of sheep. You know, sure, he's got the deer there. They add up a lot. But, you know, if you think about the cost of tech up alone, right? You already paid 400 food to get here into feudal. You have to pay 1,200 to get up into castle age. I mentioned that deer stack on its own is 2,450 food. That's already half gone on one
I
tech up.
hate that outpost from LucifroN in his base.
Really? What, the one on the north side?
The one that's literally right next to his gold mine there. I know,
Oh,
it just
that one
feels like
there.
if you put it to the right side of the house, it would have been still securing the same resources.
Oh.
Like he can wall the top side, but this also blocks like direct farming space around the Archon.
Well, it's even worse than that, right? So your point is, like, if you check the south side, there's a tree line that if, you know, MarineLorD
Yeah,
ever
he
gets
can
map
just run
control,
past.
exactly, Lombos will just kill you, and this outpost does nothing.
Yeah. Let's hope that that doesn't happen, because that would be really devastating to LucifroN. Behind that, resources looking really stable. Castle Age is going to be coming in soon here. Is it going to be the Archon, or is it not the Archon? Is it going to be the Regnus or the Burgrave? Looks like LucifroN notices, though, and he pulls a villager in order to wall that side. So hopefully we're not going to be seeing the kind of choky, chokehold Longbowman resource denial.
Yeah. He's not choking the game, is what you're getting. I think this is a Burgrave player, though. Like, to your point around the blocking on, like, farm area around the Archon, you don't care as much if you're going for an all-in Burgrave. Okay.
It's Regnus.
Wow.
Wait, no, it's not. It's Regnus again. He cancelled.
Regnus,
It's Regnus again.
Burgrave. Like, what are we? Are we just one of those like roulettes right now? Like a little gasher. Ding 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 ding. We went for Regnus.
Wondering if LucifroN is just trying to troll the casters here right now, but units are moving towards the base of LucifroN here from MarineLorD, and the Regnets, 9 villagers on there, but the scout is going to be seeing the age up coming in right about now.
Sure.
Units immediately moving towards that. He's pulling more villagers.
Run without wheelbarrow to build this up. That could easily be 2 villagers going down. He actually cancels it!
It was more than halfway done!
This is the Burgrave switch, right? It's a Regnus again? What is going on in this game?
I don't know. You tell me. This is weird.
Well, you're the expert. Oh my god.
I don't feel like it right now when I see this.
I mean, I know it's halfway. You're going to lose a few villagers, but like the goose is cooked. Look at your timing now. Look at what MarineLorD is doing. He's about to catch up. Yes, his tech up will be slower by 20 seconds, but...
I also thought he would commit. He cancelled it 2 times by now. This is just causing so much idle time that now the King's Palace is going to be going up at a similar time.
By the way, so I know how you felt about that outpost on the Archon. Can we...
It's not looking better now, and
oh my god!
I talked about earlier, how many buildings can you fit inside the range of your Archon Chapel? I mean, it's
no. It's you've done it wrong. That's not the challenge that LucifroN's engaging with. It's not how many. It's how few. Of the important ones anyway. I mean, how many farms? If he stops building around it now, he can maybe get like I want to say 8 farms, maybe 10 if he's lucky.
Outpost coming up now in the middle for MarineLorD means he has a way to save weak units, just putting them inside of the outpost. And now, age up completed. We immediately see crossbowmen from MarineLorD in the queue.
And I wish we had listen-ins and cameras for casters in moments like that. I just imagine the moment that half-complete Regnus got cancelled. Just to hear it already, MarineLorD, and then he's like, you know, back to. Oh, good lord! And now MarineLorD
loses an arm, loses a leg, back to work.
Hey man, gotta keep going until the job's done. And the job could be done very quick for MarineLorD. Like you can see he's already prepping the crossbows. He's gonna pick up his own relics as well. And honestly, what are you building as LucifroN that's not countered by mass crossbows here?
Yeah, you also can't really go for horsemen just because it's so expensive on this map. And I mean, mass crossbows in critical numbers, they can deal really, really easily with the horsemen as well. They deal 6 at 12 damage baseline. You don't need to be an armored unit to be affected by that.
You feel the sting. We talked about it for javelins. This is another comparative, right? Which, I mean, that was what javelins were meant to be, is like a crossbow versatile unit. And this outpost... Luckily, they shot the villager that was going inside, but the others didn't get the memo. That's still a sting for an HRE player. And it kind of shows the desperation, right? LucifroN clearly needs these deer. He's running out of space. He's running out of food. And, okay, so I think, can he maybe still get one farm on the south side of this Archon? I think he's literally going to be capped at like 5 under influence.
Oh, he's running under the outpost.
No. He still doesn't have wheelbarrow.
And he's getting it now, though. He's getting now. He just placed his first mill, so he's getting it now. But
of course.
What he really needs right now is he needs a relic inside that outpost and then the Springleton placement on it. It would buy him so much map control with that. And yeah, I mean, with the relic inside, I think it would also just range the outpost on the opposite side from MarineLorD. Looks like he deleted the house, so he's getting a little bit more room now around the Archon for some additional farms.
You know what? MarineLorD helped him there, because by losing those extra villagers, he didn't have to worry about being housed, so he was able to delete the house. It was a very thoughtful thing of MarineLorD to do there. LucifroN, it's still looking rough. There's just a few crossbowmen to defend against the initial raiders. I mean, I say initial as if there's been many more. With the lack of food in the farm transition, there's really not been anything. LucifroN's army, it's almost like your 2-year-old's discovered one number, and it's 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. And for some reason, a 2 in there, but we'll ignore that. One of them is not even out in the field.
Crossbows and longbows just taking so many villagers' lives here right now, and so much idle time is caused as well. Behind that, MarineLorD sitting on a 14-villager lead, and
it's getting bigger.
Now he's just going to be sitting in the woodline. Okay,
so now you just get to sit in your TC playing with yourself. There's really nothing else to do here for LucifroN. He doesn't have an army to defend with, and it's interesting. We talked about LucifroN being this type of player that, like, you know, will quickly move on if he feels it's over. I'm curious what his mentality is on this, like his way out. We see him priming the racks, but was that 4 barrackses?
I think it was also 2 archery ranges.
Okay, like, good, because if it was all raxes, I don't know how he affords that with that food income.
Yeah, he does have a lumber camp now, which is in range of the Archon Chapel, so at least he's getting some inspired wood income. Could potentially pump out a lot of archers. The problem here behind that is even more villagers going down.
That's 12.
12. It's. I mean, I don't want to say that it's over, but at this point, it is hard for me to imagine a way for LucifroN to come back. 20 military to 6, 52 villagers to 28, 3 relics to 2. Now, granted, he does have the Regnets, but that doesn't make up for it.
Yeah, I'm going to make the executive call. It's not me, it's you. It's definitely over. I mean, it's just, how long do you want to go around the whirlpool before you admit to being flushed here, right? Like, it's rough. The Sacred Site's now been capped, so that's going to be the pressure point. MarineLorD could even think about trying to gather towards a keep for an aggressive drop, but we're not even going to reach that. GG gets called. Second one on the board. MarineLorD beginning to look unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, this was a slow and painful death, it feels like, for LucifroN, delaying himself time and time again with that Regnets. I mean, the second time he deleted that Regnets, or he canceled the Regnets, that was a solid, like, he could have gotten it up like 2 minutes earlier, it feels like. And because he didn't, that just kind of completely deleted his timings. The villagers were idle for so long, building up that landmark, and it feels like at some point, especially at the second time, he should have just committed. He pulled even more villagers towards that. There were only 2 longbowmen and 2 spearmen. I think a player like LucifroN, he could have definitely just juggled around with the villagers there, pulling them back and not lose too many there in order to get that Regnets up.
I'm going to make you cringe more. Don't worry, it's not me telling a dad joke for once. Keep in mind that on top of all the things you highlighted, when he had to reposition, when he moved more villagers out, all these things were done without wheelbarrow.